If you're all ready, we'll start with the press conference after the match from CSKA Moscow.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to say, obviously, congratulations to my team. Tonight we had two teams that they wanted both of them to bounce back. Obviously, I have to talk about my team. We wanted to bounce back after the bad performance defensively, especially we had in the second half, the middle of third quarter and the fourth quarter against Madrid-Cska. We have worked a lot. We have analyzed ourselves. We have been criticized, and we wanted to. It couldn't happen better for us to have such a great opponent in front of us to play against and to see where we are at. I think we play a very smart game, although we had our bad moments. One of those, it was in the second quarter when we were scoreless for 7 minutes. But I think on the third quarter, when we realized where we have to play the game, how we have to play the game, especially on the level of hustle, we out-hustled them, we out-run them, and we controlled the second half, most of the second half. I repeat again, against a great opponent, play at home, defending champions. They have full respect from our side. But congratulations big to my players, because on that second quarter and those 7 black minutes for us offensively, it cost us also defensively. We have the help we wanted to from the players that are coming from the bench. That drastically changed on the third quarter. We had help from every and each of them, and the congratulations goes also over there because we did the small things. We accumulate a lot of small things downstretch, and we won this game. We want to keep our composure, of course. We have a lot of games to go on. That's a good win, but it's just the beginning out of the marathon in Euroleague. To be continued.
Questions for the coach? Please, as usual, identify yourself and the company that you represent. Thank you. There are no questions for the coach?
I threw a wish in the well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. I looked at you as it fell, and now you're in my way. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me look right at your baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, I missed you so bad, I missed you so, so bad. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, and you should know that, so call me maybe.
I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bright and black that's making you run. And we'll feel alright, we'll feel alright. 'Cause we'll work it out, yeah, we'll work it out. And I'll be doing this if you ever doubt. Till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000 clapping like one. And I feel alright, and I feel alright. 'Cause I worked it out, yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you ever down. Till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I got my mind made up, man, I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. There's a maniac out in front of me, got an angel on one shoulder and Mustafa-Lee's. But mama raised me good, mama raised me right. Mama said, do what you want, say prayers at night. And I'm saying them, 'cause I'm so devout. Till the love runs out, till the love runs out. Yeah, got my mind made up, man, I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. We all want the same thing. We all run for something. For God, for faith, for love, for hate, for gold, or rust, for diamonds, or dust. I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bright and black that's making you run. I got my mind made up, man, I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it sees my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bright and black that's making you run. And I feel alright, and we'll feel alright. 'Cause we'll work it out, yes, we'll work it out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
You'll say we've got nothing in common, no common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. You'll say has come between us. Our lives have come between us. Still I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing we got. I see you, the only one who knew me, but now your eyes see through me. I guess I was wrong. So what now? It's plain to see we're over, and I hate when things are over, when so much is left undone. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing we got. Who'll say that we've got nothing in common, no common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. You'll say the world has come between us, our lives have come between us. Still I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing we got. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing we got. And I said, what about
Bueno, buenas noches a todos.
Good evening. As usual, we'll start with assessment from Pablo and then questions. Okay, first to congratulate CSKA for the win. When you see the statistics, I believe there's a key aspect, which is the 3-pointers from there. Some and their good defense on the very last second, and that's probably something that waited, and they were scoring more 3-pointers than 2-pointers on the break, and that's part of their thing they were doing properly. But it would be short-minded to think that it was just because of that. We were not playing properly, neither offensively nor defensively. That doesn't mean that the team did not make an effort, but I believe they did. We had to overcome to a very bad beginning with a very strong disadvantage. Then the team worked a lot to turn the match around, but we had the feeling that we were not playing as a team, and the responsible person in that case is obviously me. I'm not happy with the team's work. I believe we were not playing properly, and of course we need to improve, because there were many situations that we talked about that we didn't play properly, that we did not control, and I think that was part of the difference today in the feeling that the CSKA was better, and that's the way to say it. Of course, scoring, they had some difficult shots that could change the match. There were 2 from the crowd changing the possession, Facu at the end of the quarter. But the feeling is that we did not play properly as a team, neither defensively nor offensively, and that's it. Now we have a few days without a match. I think they're going to be very good to recover people and to work in aspects that we have been losing with so many matches. Questions for Pablo as usual. Please identify yourself and the company that you represent. Thank you. No questions? Okay, in the back. Good evening, Pablo. I would like to ask that in November, December, and except the seasons with defeats, there's always a bit of a downslope. Is that because of you programmed the season? Is just out of luck? Is there an aspect on the physical part? I believe there are players that are difficult to be maintained on shape for the whole season, that's for sure. And it's a very long one, and a very demanding one. But in no moment our work is to lose matches in November. That's as clear as I can tell you. I wish I could win all matches. I was also the one saying that we will not win all of them when you asked. But what I'm worried about is not personal situations of being better or worse. But I'm worried about the team feeling. You can be bad, let's say, like injured even, as all things that can happen and being on shape or not. But at the end of the day, I have the feeling that we were not a team, and to win we need to be a team above any individuality. And I believe that's why I'm the one saying it's my responsibility first. Today we were not the team Pablo Lasso wants the team to be. I'm not happy. There were times I lose, and I'm the first one congratulating the team because of the work. Today I cannot say anything about fight, effort, work, but I think we were not able to play as a team, neither offensively nor defensively, and that's something we need to improve towards the future. I understand your question, but we also had 3 very demanding matches. Now we have very few days to rest that are going to be of work, of course. Javier Rodriguez, Planeta ICB. Coy Campos played 35 minutes with a very demanding match. I don't know if Jules injured was a bit longer, and that makes it that the part of your team needs to reinforce to place him on this position, because maybe on the guard position, because it may happen again in a more demanding moment. Well, I think I have 2 great guards. Both Senji and Faku are players of the highest level, and I believe they need to lead our team from that position, which quite often is very important for the 2 points, for the 2 assists. The fact that the team needs to play offensively and has to have a defensive leading as well. The fact that Sergi is not there makes Clement to play more minutes on the guard position. He's a player who's still making an effort in the Scattered team. But that said, Sergi, as I always say, and I was saying that last year, he's not dead. It would be crazy to force him in a situation that he needed to stop, and probably he'll be better this week, and probably today was the final of the Champions Cup, he would play. But we know how important our guard are, and Clement plays some good minutes of guard. He got too many falls too soon, but I don't have the feeling that we would need another guard. I don't know, to answer straight to your question. I have 2 very good players in that position. I have Clement, I have Melvin, and we know that they need to grow and to learn to control the team both defensively and offensively, which I believe they're very much able to do. Hello Pablo, Diego Claudio from El Club de Deporte. Apart from the result from today's match, what shot you liked best between Campazos at the end of the first quarter or Doncic last season against Barcelona? Doncic's, because we won all the way back. Nomi Fernando, Real Madrid Television. Pablo, good evening. Before this match we were talking about the strength of the Palace. We talk this quite often. It's a pity that the ball fall on the other court, but I would like to ask about the environment. I think the Palace was wonderful. We don't doubt that, and in that sense the team There's no question about it. The team fought, the team had some situations of scoring in difficult moments, even Jeff's one, which would be 5 or 7 up for us. But the Palace and the support, we got it. But my obligation as a coach is for us to play better. Last 2 questions, please. Rafael Castillejo from Somos Baskets. I would like defeat against CSKA Moscow is harder or not? Well, for me, they're all painful. They're all painful because I worry about my team, and maybe I lose a match like Andorra's one, but I believe we did many things better on Andorra's day, and this Andorra's and CSKA, and it seems that CSKA is very good and Andorra is worst. No, I'm happier with the day of with the work of my team for Andorra's day than today's. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the opponent and think that this can be won or lost. Our obligation is to try and win all of them. Last question, second row. Hello, Pablo. Good afternoon, near evening. On the third quarter, there was some times for the team that they were a bit unfocused with some decisions from the arbitration. Do you think that's also because of the psychological tiredness because of so many matches, or what do you think it's because? I think we cannot think about the referees. In basketball there are so many things to notice that to think about the referees will just unfocus you. That's my opinion, and I always tell the team. Referees have enough to do the arbitration. They can do it right, they can make mistakes. If I watch the match, I probably see some situations I believe that would damage me, and of course there could be some that the other coach says that it damaged them, but you cannot be conditioned by the referees. You have to do your own work. What is true is that probably our beginning made us somehow get on very high revolutions, and maybe we had to pay for it at the end. I don't think the referees are a situation I can control. I have to worry about what I can control, and what I can control is my team. Okay, thank you, good evening.
Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too